What's up, Buckeye Nation? It's your man, Jake Smith here, back again, the Everything Buckeye Nation show here. Wanted to make a quick little video tonight, just kind of clear my chest about this. I'm really pissed off at Jim Harbaugh, and I wanted to talk about it, okay? And it's not about his Urban Meyer comments. Believe it or not, my co-host Corey Boyd covered that the other night in a video for the supporters, and while I somewhat agree with his comments about Urban Meyer, yeah, controversy has followed him in the last two places, not at Bowling Green or Utah. But it's very interesting that he chooses to bring that up now that Coach Meyer's retired, after getting his ass whooped 4 times in a row by the man. And that is something I don't really understand why that sort of came out of left field. But that's not what I want to talk about, okay? So what I do want to talk about is this James Hudson situation, this transfer from the Wolverines. Okay, if you're not familiar with the situation, this kid out of Toledo, highly rated recruit, goes to the Wolverines. He has some mental health issues there, some struggles, and he feels he can't go anywhere about them. He feels he's getting made fun of. He would get made fun of for that sort of thing. So he transfers. He transfers to Cincinnati, Luke Fickell's Bearcats, okay? And he applies to the NCAA for immediate eligibility, citing his mental health concerns and that he didn't have a place to go with the Wolverines. So he feels better now with the support system he has in place, and he is applying for immediate reinstatement. Now, the NCAA denies this request. Say the Wolverines had something to do about that. You look at Ohio State and Georgia's transfer situation this year. Georgia's quarterback Justin Fields transfers to Ohio State. They help him out. They let him play right away. Tate Martell leaves Ohio State only because of depth chart concerns. He's never going to play. Same thing for Justin Fields. He's behind Jake Fromm. They both leave. They transfer because of playing time is the concern. Compared to mental health, is a joke. Playing time is. Yet, Georgia, Ohio State, they help their kids out. They go ahead. You know, they help out the NCAA, let them play, whatever, no big deal. Well, Coach Harbaugh likes to talk the talk, but apparently not actually walk the walk, because he's advocating at Big Ten Media Days on Friday about every player should have the right to play right away after one transfer. If it's their first transfer, they should be able to play right away. Well, James Hudson, he leaves the Wolverines for the Bearcats, tries to play right away. They go, the NCAA comes to the Wolverines. They say, oh, no, we didn't hear anything about that, you know, and it's not really our problem. Well, I think that's pretty bogus, especially after you go out on Big Ten Media Days and say, hey, every player should be able to play right away. And, well, we had nothing to do with James Hudson. Not so sure about that, Coach. Glenda Hudson, James's mother, held a meeting. She spoke with WTOL earlier this week about this meeting she had with Coach Harbaugh and her son and the coaching staff. And let me get the quotes here, because she came in and said that her son James is down and disheartened, and what's going on with my son? Jim said he repeated the words right back to her. Down? Disheartened? What does this mean? Looks at James. James, do you want to leave? If you want to leave, there's nothing I can do. Offensive line coach Ed Warner comes in trying to ease the situation. And Harbaugh shushes him away. He says, shush, don't say nothing. That's what Glenda Hudson had to say. Tend to believe her in this in this scenario. I have no reason not to. I think that is complete and utter bullshit, really, that he comes out advocating, I am all for immediate reinstatement as long as it's just a one-time transfer. Well, that's what James Hudson did. He came out and said he couldn't because Michigan blocked him. He is currently awaiting the results of they resubmitted the waiver and was like, look, are you serious? You're really going to deny this? I mean, I hate the NCAA just as much as Harbaugh in this situation. How are you going to deny that? I mean, what's the big deal, really? It's very frustrating, and it comes kind of on the heels of this quote from Jim Harbaugh earlier around Big Ten Media Days that is, again, kind of taking a step on mental health issues. He says, here's the quote, "The youngster that says, okay, this is a mental health issue. I'm suffering from depression. Or that's a reason they're getting eligible," Harbaugh said. "Once that's known, they're just getting told to say this or say that to get eligible. The problem with that is they're going to say, okay, yeah, I'm depressed. Say what they've got to say. But down the road, I don't see that helping them down the road if it's not a legitimate thing. No one will know. But 10 years down the road, what are you going to say? Oh, I just said what I had to say. I think you're putting them in a position that's not fair, not right." So, what is it, Coach? Do they actually have, are there actual mental health struggles out there that you care about? Or are they just making it up to play right away? I'd like to say that I'm really getting sick of this guy. I can't stand the man. I cannot. But he is the head coach of my most hated rival. And if he's going to act a fool like that, then you know what? He's worn out his welcome everywhere he's been. And just go ahead. Keep talking that talk, Coach. You'll figure it out one of these days where you're going. I tell you what, it's very frustrating. Another example of him just talking out of his ass at Big Ten Media Days is they asked him about his team. Like, what are you thinking about your team? Are you close to beating Ohio State? Let me get this quote here. This is how he described his football team. Quote, "I think it's tight, but like an anaconda, you just want to keep squeezing it tighter and making it better. And that's where our football team is." What the hell does that even mean? Later on, when asked about his comments about Urban Meyer, the reporter said, "You don't think that was poking the bear a little bit?" And Coach Harbaugh responds, quote, "I'm not making into animal analogies, so poking the bear doesn't resonate." What was the anaconda talk about then, Coach? What the hell are you talking about? The guy has just been talking out his ass for years, and it is so frustrating. But I wonder how an unbiased fan looks at Coach Harbaugh, because obviously as a Buckeye diehard, I think he's an idiot, complete moron. I don't know what kind of maize and blue colored glasses the Wolverines fans are looking through, because I see a lot of defending him, especially with the controversy follows him everywhere he goes. Nice of you to say that about Urban Meyer after you got beat 4 times, and you've had 2 DUIs, and you had the most players arrested in the NFL when you were the coach there. But no controversy there. How about the mental health comments? He's just making it up. No controversy there. I don't get it, and I'm frankly tired of it. But at the same time, he's got to be causing dysfunction, because he does everywhere he goes, and he hasn't really won a big game yet with the Wolverines. So I guess I'll just wait it out and think, wow, how would I feel if I was a Wolverine fan? I must be embarrassed about this guy. How can you not be? He's talking this talk now that Urban Meyer leaves, and they're getting tighter and tighter like an anaconda, but he doesn't know what poking the bear means, because he doesn't use animal analogies. So that's fantastic. Well, from your span, being the head coach for the Wolverines, in 4 years, this man Harbaugh averaged the 18th best recruiting class in the country. Not bad. If you're trying to be the 18th best team in the country, not just recruiting-wise. Everybody knows recruiting wins championships in college football. Urban Meyer, over that same time period, average class ranked 4th. The talent gap is there. I don't know how they're being touted as the Big Ten favorites this year. Is it because Urban Meyer left? Is it because Dwayne Haskins left? Well, maybe so. But the highest rated recruit to ever come through Ohio State is suiting up at quarterback next year. And Ryan Day's got the number 3 recruiting class in the country right now. I'm just saying. That's going to do it. I just thank you for listening to this rant. I'm sorry if it got boring or old or whatever quickly, but I had to get it off my chest. I really appreciate you listening. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Subscribe to Everything Buckeye Nation on Facebook. Shout out to Corey Boyd and producer G. Go Bucks. Beat that team up north.